asked the old man. Quentin first looked stunned, then his face darkened. Punk. Do you think I'm an idiot? The old man is already dead, how could you ask him anything? He may be dead, but his body is still warm. Coincidentally, I have a way to bring the dead back to life. Dustin smiled faintly. Nonsense. Do you think you're a god? Bring the dead back to life? Why don't you say you know how to fly? Quentin sneered. Who is this young man? How dare he speak so arrogantly? Yeah. Even Dr. Shane wouldn't dare say that he could bring the dead back to life. This kid is really too conceited. In my opinion, he just wants to show off in front of Ms. Harmon and impress her. In response to Dustin's words, the people around him were filled with scum. The old man was already dead, how could he bring a dead person back to life? Wasn't he spouting nonsense? Whether it's nonsense or not, we'll find out soon enough. Dustin didn't explain further and walked up to the old man. Hey! What are you doing? I'm warning you, don't mess around with me. My father's body is still warm, so no one can touch him. I've reported this to the authorities, and the police will be here soon. The middle-aged man looked wary. Don't be so agitated, I just want to take a look at your father. Maybe I can give you the justice you deserve. Dustin said. I don't even know who you are, why should I let you examine him? The middle-aged man shouted. Mr. Rhys is the chief physician of Harmon Pharmaceuticals. If your father really had an accident because of ingesting Immortanol, we are willing to take full responsibility, Natasha spoke up. Although she didn't know what Dustin was going to do, she supported him unconditionally. If he's a doctor, then let him take a look. If it's really Immortanol that killed him, we can testify for you. Many others chimed in as well. Dustin piped up when he saw the man's hesitation. What, do you want your father to die under such vague circumstances? All right. I look forward to seeing what tricks you can play. The middle-aged man gritted his teeth and stepped aside. Dustin squatted down and examined the body briefly. There's no breath or pulse. It seems like this old man is truly dead. Since the deceased is foaming at the mouth, it appears to be a case of death due to poisoning. Listen. Did you all hear that? Even the Harmon family's physician said it was death by poisoning. My father was poisoned to death by Immortanol. The middle-aged man shouted. As soon as the people heard his claims, their faces were filled with shock. They started pointing fingers at Natasha and whispering in hushed voices, their eyes full of suspicion. Dustin, what nonsense are you talking about? Did you even do a proper examination? You are obviously trying to throw the Harmons under the bus. Jessica hissed under her breath. She couldn't help but suspect that Dustin was a spy planted by the Hummer family. In such a critical moment, he actually said that the old man died of poisoning. Wasn't he just adding fuel to the fire? Cousin, it seems like your little boyfriend here has rocks in his head. With his statement, he is confirming that you did sell fake medicine which caused someone's death. Quentin almost laughed out loud. Could such stupid people actually exist? He was just making matters worse. What an interesting development. Edwin smirked to himself as he stood among the crowd. He couldn't believe that Dustin would add insult to injury. This was more than what he expected. Based on your reactions, I believe you all trust what I said, right? Dustin stared directly at the man. We believe it. Of course, we believe it. You are an honest and upright man by publicly exposing the dark side of the Harmon family. The middle-aged man nodded vigorously. While he was praising Dustin, the man couldn't hide the faint smile on his lips. Although his smile quickly disappeared, it was still caught by Dustin. "Now that you believe me, I'm going to save your father," Dustin declared with a cheeky smile. "Save? My father is already dead, how can you save him?" The middle-aged man was stunned. "I have my ways," Dustin said. All of a sudden, he slapped the old man's face. There was a loud crack as the old man's dentures flew out and fell directly into someone's glass. Before everyone could react, Dustin continued slapping the old man until his cheeks were swollen and his nose was bleeding. "Hey! Are you crazy? Why are you hitting my father?" The man's face turned as pale as a sheet. "I'm trying to save your father. This is a secret technique that can bring people back from the dead. You shall see for yourself soon," Dustin said as he slapped the old man a few more times, increasing the intensity. The old man's head swelled up like a balloon from Dustin's assault. Tears were flowing down his cheeks. "Stop it. You lunatic, stop it." The middle-aged man was furious and rushed forward to hit Dustin, but Dustin pushed him away easily. "Is this guy a real doctor? I've never seen such a way of saving people before. What bizarre technique is this? He's clearly just beating up a dead body. Is he insane? How could the doctor beat up the old man so violently when he is already dead? The doctor's character is corrupt. The Harmon family is completely rotten to the core. What is the world coming to?" In response to Dustin's absurd behavior, the crowd began condemning him, filled with righteous indignation. The deceased should be respected. Beating up a corpse like this was simply inhumane. "This guy's crazy. He's beating up my father's corpse. The Harmon family killed my father, and now they are treating his body with disrespect. Is there anyone who can help me?" The middle-aged man slumped on the ground, crying bitterly. "Dustin, stop it." Jessica's face turned pale. "He's gone mad. This guy is out of his mind." Quinton shook his head. "What's going on?" Ruth was stunned. "This is getting more and more interesting." Edwin gloated. Just as everyone thought that Dustin had gone insane, there was suddenly a cry of surprise from the crowd. "Hey, I think I just saw the dead man's finger move. Did you see it too? I thought I was seeing things." Not only did his fingers move, but look. Tears are flowing out of his eyes too. Incredulous, the crowd noticed something strange about the dead body. Everyone looked at each other in confusion. Could slapping someone's face really bring them back from the dead? "He's pretty resilient." Dustin sneered as he stopped the assault. "It seems like I need to go all out to wake him up. Ruth, bring me my knife, the one I used to slaughter pigs. I would have to make a cut on his head to bring him back to life." As soon as these words were spoken, the corpse on the ground couldn't bear it any longer and sat up with a scream.